This rift that has come out of Parliament and the executive has only helped us in one way. It has exposed the corrupt underbelly of government. Corruption is a two-way traffic. There is giving, there is receiving. If members of Parliament are corrupt, which they are, they have been receiving money. The question is, from who? Member of Parliament, Shakil Shabir, says it's the executive that has money. If we have been receiving money as members of Parliament, then we have been receiving money from the executive. So if there is anybody who is corrupt, it is the executive and members of Parliament. That is why me as Joakim, I say, fagia wote. Both the president and his members of Parliament. Nobody should be spared. And even if President Ruto fights corruption genuinely, it is not to exonerate himself from the mess. It is to clear the mess he's created. But one term still remains.
So for you believe that when the president saying that the parliament itself is corrupt, it's like he's setting a narrative already for any outcome when they now move forward with changing the leadership of parliament, so that the parliamentarians themselves, they'll be seeing as if they're fighting the executive, but when now this move comes for a leadership of parliament to happen, there'll be already confusion among themselves so that they don't face so much resentment from these changes that are going to happen in parliament. And do you believe a person in the likeness of Speaker Wetangula will be affected with these changes that are coming?
I don't care who they put where. They are all the same. There will be no any change. There will be no any change. And so,
you believe in 2027 no MP should be re-elected from the 13th parliament that is currently existing?
If any MP is to be elected, it should not exceed 5% of the current members of Parliament, because they have contributed heavily to the mess that we are in. Parliament is what allocates resources. Parliament passes laws. They should represent the people. You heard the statement Member of Parliament from Ogenya said, David Ochieng, who was complaining about the president, that we as members of Parliament have been there for the president through thick and thin, but now he wants to throw us under the bus. And he mentioned some things, that the president brought here a very unpopular finance bill. We passed it for him. The president brought here a very unpopular housing levy. We passed it for him. He came with the SHA. We did it for him. He finished by asking, what haven't we done for the president? What does that tell you? It tells you that it tells you that what I have been saying about Parliament is true. That the Parliament stopped being a watchdog. They became lapdogs. They became a rubber stamp of the executive. They forgot their role. So when executive turns against them, they want to pretend that they are victims also. No one is a victim. They are all guilty of the problems the Kenyan people are going through. That is why, fagia water. Fagia water, drain the swamp. Let us get a new credible leadership. Must they be the ones occupying those houses? No. We do not have a shortage of people who can be leaders in this country. We have a lot.
So now, meaning kama ni fagia wote, it means even in the by-elections that we are going to have in November, which already campaigns have started gaining heat, what are the chances of these members are going to be elected? Are we going to see first timers who have never been in parliament before? Or are we going to see a situation whereby the people who are maybe former MPs or who are holding jobs in government previously, are we going to see a comeback for them in these by-elections? And also in the same topic of by-elections, if now the opposition is united, are we going to see a situation whereby ODM and UD are going to field joint candidates when they did with Azimio, so that wakuwe broad-based government? Or if ODM itasimamisha mtu, UDA inafaa kuwa support, or should it be an open field? And what are the chances of people being elected?
I'm more concerned of the unity of the opposition than the unity of government. The people in the opposition are the ones who should be fielding a candidate in one area, a particular party. If it's a member of the opposition, it has fielded a candidate in Malava, there should be no other party from the opposition fielding a candidate there. That should be the unity.
But is that not undermining democracy?
Objectives sometimes forces you to sacrifice some principles. What is at stake? What do we stand to lose? What will be abnormal if we do things normally? That should be the guiding principle, the guiding force. That we want to see a fresh leadership. We want to see more young people coming into leadership. If we continue with the confusion we've seen over the years, are we making any change? That's why I say the opposition should organize as gentlemen, have agreement that party A, when they field a candidate in place A, party B, which is a member of the ODM, should not field a candidate in that place. Therefore, they come together as the opposition to support this particular candidate of this organization. Because so much is at stake, ndugu yangu.
Yeah. Sasa finally tukimalizia, if already tumeanza kuona there is somehow cracks or maybe differences or maybe push and pull in the opposition, are you seeing a situation whereby if in politics is divide and rule, and every politician know this, are we going to see a situation whereby the current opposition iko strong ndio saizi, but elections iko 2027, that's a long time? Are we going to see a situation whereby one of the principles in the opposition currently is going to bolt out and join the other side? And for this not to happen, what should be done now with the current opposition principles that are there, so that mtu weke interest zake nyuma na tunaamua tuna support this candidate? Finally tukimalizia,
this is what I want to tell Kenyans. This is not about the opposition. It's about Kenyans. What do they want? If we are going to be drawn into the confusion of the opposition, are we going to achieve what we want as the Kenyan people? What is our interest? What do we want to achieve? Are we going to follow personalities or we stick to the agenda? What are the issues? We want to change leadership. What has been the problem with the leadership that we have been having? What do we want to change? If we find that education is a problem with the current leadership, how do we make sure that the next leadership does not bring the same problem without even focusing on the positioning of the politicians? If we are going to be drawn into their confusion, we will come back here after 2027 crying even louder. But the Kenyan people should remain focused that you as an ordinary person in Mount Elgon, you as an ordinary person in Kilifi, in Kwale, in Marsabit, what is the need for you? And who among these people represents the change you want? Because we must define a problem. This fight does not end with the Ruto going home. There will be life after William Ruto going home. How do you want to live that life? How do you want politics of the country to be? What is the agenda? What do we want to achieve as a country? How do you want the country to be in the next 50 years? What are the policy change that we want to have? That should be the driving force. Let us not focus on the hullabaloo around the political class. Because in my own thinking, the problem we have as a country is economics.